Hello comrades, yes it's me, a Yorkshireman now living in Wales, and big excitement today, I literally got my first election leaflet. Yes, and here it is, here's the front cover, Plaid Cymru. Right, now, what do I expect from an election leaflet? Well, first off, it'll get me excited. Secondly, it will convince me that I vote for them. Right, so I'd expect it to be full of interesting information, tell me things I didn't know, and I'd also expect it to be sort of truthful. Anyway, let's have a look and see what I got then. So, this is a leaflet, nice and colourful and the rest of it. Now, as I'm going to do the normal format, I'll put it up, but then if you need to double check what I'm doing, then you can stop it and go back through it again, because I know you'd rather be looking at me. So, first thing I came across when I got into the leaflet, and to be honest it was one of these like multi-foldy type of leaflets which I don't really get on with. Anyway, so, first thing what struck me is, why Plaid Cymru? I thought, well that's a good question. And then it goes on, standing for Wales. And then it goes on to say, only Plaid Cymru truly stands up for Wales. I don't know, really, I'm not sure how I feel about that actually, living here and the rest of it and being backwards and forwards and all that over a number of years. Anyway, I then got more excited when I saw this new leadership for Wales. I thought, now that is exciting. So I then started reading it, and as you can see here, it goes on, after 27 years of Labour, that's Welsh Labour, Wales deserves better. Now in this little section it goes on with things about the NHS waiting lists are far too long, living costs are too high, economic unfairness is holding your communities back. Plaid Cymru offers new leadership. Now at that point, I then racked my brain and I thought, well, this implies that Plaid Cymru have had nothing at all to do with Welsh Labour. However, as I then searched my memory banks and went on the magic of the internet, and I've covered some of this already, Plaid Cymru were in a full coalition government with Labour, yes, Welsh Labour, from 2007 to 2011. Now, they must have had a little bit of a falling out. However, up until 2021, they were still working together, working on different legislation, voting for different legislation, basically following whatever Welsh Labour wanted to do. They also signed off on budgets and all sorts of stuff, because Welsh Labour were effectively a minority government backed up by Plaid Cymru. Now, come 2021, they then got married again until 2024. So, their statement that Wales deserves better after 27 years of Labour, or Welsh Labour, I'd say is a tad misleading, because Welsh Plaid Cymru have always been working together with Welsh Labour. And let me give you some other interesting things to consider on this. Now then, 20 miles an hour, that was a major turning point in Wales, because that annoyed so many people. The minimum people that annoyed was 500,000 people. They got really annoyed by it. And what did the Senate say? No, you lot are stupid, you don't know what you're on about. Now then, who literally supported that and, if I remember, enabled it to go through? That would be, guess who, Plaid Cymru. Then of course we're going to the more members of the Senate, and I think 96 more members of the Senate, for what? No one knows. Were the public asked? No. Anyway, who designed this and who also supported this? Plaid Cymru. Yes, they co-designed it all. So Plaid Cymru were behind this as well. And then of course we're going to the net zero and the rest of it. Who loves that? Yes, you've got it in one. Plaid Cymru, they love it all. Now, negative aspect of anything to do with net zero, as we all know, is all how costs go up and up and up. You can't do this, you can't do that. Councils spend millions of pounds getting EV vehicles and going for solar stuff without, guess what, asking any of us all. So Plaid Cymru are just as responsible for what they're describing as poor leadership. What else? Let me just, one of the latest things again, Nation of Sanctuary. Are we being asked about that? No, but Plaid Cymru are loving it. And then of course underneath all of this you've got like other major Welsh government policies over a period of time, and they could be like farming reforms, childcare, education, language strategy, council tax reforms, NHS structural changes. Now some people would say that actually, Plaid Cymru had a lot to do with this, has led to the situation you're in now, but who knows. So, what else did I then look at? And the bit which sort of then struck is this little bit here. Plaid Cymru can stop reform. And I'm thinking, well, what does that mean then? Does that mean they're going to block all the roads? And I'm assuming here, as I say, I look at this and I'm assuming it's a reform political party. But I come to this section and it makes it really clear. This is, I find, quite interesting. And it's a theme throughout the full leaflet. Vote Plaid Cymru to keep Reform UK out. Now, that is a design strategy to get people engaged and think, I don't like reform, I will vote Plaid Cymru. Now, everything is it's a double-edged sword, is stuff like this. Because in my opinion, and I'm sick of it, I'm sick of politicians like saying you will have 20 miles an hour. You might as well say you will vote Plaid Cymru. You will not vote reform. Well, I'll tell you what I'll be doing. Just literally, on this leaflet alone, I'm going to vote Reform UK. Because guess what? They're telling me not to. I don't really, in one sense, care what Reform do. Because actually, we don't really know, do they? But I am sick of this leaflet and all these people saying, don't do this, don't do that. We're better than anybody else. Well, you're not. Your track record is abysmal. And actually, I'm looking at the leaflet and I don't really hold up to scrutiny. But it is only a leaflet and this is all my opinion. And then again, it goes underneath that, new leadership for Wales. What? No, it's the same leadership. It's failed so many different times. So what else did I look for? Well, normally when I look at anything to do with politics, I want to see what the policies are. You know, big list of the policies, this is where you can find things. And, well, it starts off with this, introduce a direct child payment to tackle child poverty. It then goes on to go about introduce free universal childcare, every child in Wales. Now, with those two things, it doesn't say what age, where's it going from, how's it going to work, where the funding coming for it. I don't know. It doesn't say anything. It's just a statement which really don't mean anything. It then goes on to say grow and sustain well-shown businesses. Now, if I just take that as at face value, grow and sustain, well, most businesses in Wales are giving up because of the high taxes. You're then going to end up with this tourist tax on people and the rest of it. And a lot of tourists are sick of 20 miles an hour. And now you've got extra fuel costs. Their tourist industry, they will kill it off themselves. Now I look at this and I think Welsh-owned businesses. So if you're not a Welsh-owned businesses, does that mean you will get second-class treatment? I don't know, you see, but on the face of it, that's what it says. And then it goes on, big bold statement, integrate health and social care. Well, I did a little bit of a looking at that, because at the moment, guess what, I'm looking into Towing Hospital, actually. And what I will say about all of that is no party has managed to do that from what I can tell, and everything there has been a theme through all the different manifestos for Plaid Cymru of different years. So nothing's new there. They keep promising the same but they're not delivering. But most importantly, my takeaway is they're telling me I have to vote Plaid Cymru to stop Reform UK getting in. Well, as a person who's basically sick and tired of politicians telling me they're no better than me, I think, guess what, I don't think it's going to work. I think more people look at that and say, I'm not doing it. I'm going to vote for who I feel fit and who might make things better. Right, comrades, as I say, you can stop it, check, make sure I'm not lying, but you will have your own leaflets soon. I'm looking forward to more of them. Right, comrades, thank you for watching and catch you on the other side. Thank you.